Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Joshua and this is About 5 Design. So last week I said that we were going to be working on the case study. I was going to be showing you how to prepare a case study for the project that we're working on, which is the reusable project. But that's not going to be the case and I'm sorry about that. Okay, so something more exciting though. This week we are going to be participating in the Abby Design Creative Glow Challenge. If you don't know Abby, she is a designer, I think from the UK. So she has a YouTube channel as well and an Instagram page. I'll link those below in case you want to check her out. So every Monday, I think, she posts a new challenge for the week, right? A hashtag creative glow challenge. So the challenge comes with a brief for you to design a particular brand. This week we have a very exciting challenge. So it's a water bottle brand. It's a reusable, eco-friendly water bottle brand called Half Full, right? So the brief is just to design a brand identity system for them, creative freedom and everything you can ever ask for as a designer. So as you know me, my process goes from research to stylescape to logo design, then to the full system. But I think I'll be going a different route this time around because the last ones I usually do them as if I was working with a client, but this is a personal project. I'm willing to just let this ride out because it's going to be fun for me. So first things first, obviously I have to go and look for inspiration online and see what people are doing. The first challenge that I'm seeing from this project is that, I don't know, maybe it's just me though, right? I feel like since it's a water bottle company, right? What they produce is the water bottle. Their design will probably be a little bit unique, a little bit different, right? So I'm trying to look for inspiration. So the idea is that I may need to design the bottle first before designing the identity. It's like when you are creating, if you're a company creating the chair, for example, the product is obviously what comes first before even the packaging or the design. So the bottle itself, while yes, we may think it's just some sort of packaging, but that itself is their product and that needs to be designed first. So I'm not a 3D modeling person, so I'm trying to see if I can find maybe free 3D models, or maybe I can, because I have some knowledge of 3D modeling, so maybe I can model something out myself, or maybe I can find a mock-up or something that feels a little unique, because this is supposed to be a reusable water bottle. The idea of what they are selling is to be eco-friendly, to be reusable, to probably have some extra features, because there are a lot of those things out there these days. So there's Yanko Design that I know they post a lot of that, so I'm going through their website to see if I can find anything inspirational, anything that can guide me in the right direction. So yeah, in summary, I'm just still basically looking for the product itself, so I know what I'm designing my style to fit. Hey guys, so I just spent the last 1 hour filming, but I didn't press the record button. So I'm just going to go into my laptop now and show you what I've been working on. So far, I have been playing with some ideas, right, on paper that you guys have not been able to be part of. But essentially, this is the final drawing we came down to, and I have vectorized it as well. And I just wanted to tell you what the design is all about, right? So like we said, it's a company that produces water bottle and reusable cups. So I was thinking, why don't we put those two in one and have the cup be exactly half of the length of the bottle, right? And also I want to mention that you should pardon me that I'm not a product designer or a 3D modeling artist, so I probably will make some blunders in terms of what I should be considering in terms of the usability. I just want to create something that looks unique and that is aesthetically pleasing as far as the product is concerned. But anyway, so we have the main bottle, right, that holds the water or your drink or whatever you're putting in it. It is transparent all the way down, right? So it goes inside this small cup right here. So it goes inside the cup. It clicks, right? It clicks rather than screw. So because I don't want to have a thread on this side of the bottle on this, so it will probably disfigure the design if you decide to take this out on its own. You may want to just take this out like this, so it will disfigure the design. So I felt it should just be a click. For this one, this could be your cup, your coffee cup, your reusable cup. So obviously you will probably need a cover, right? So the cover will be something that will also be underneath this. So we have the cover down here, and you can easily just put some coffee in your cup and close the cup, put it on your table, and you have fun with it. Here are the challenges that I can see, like as a reasonable person that is designing something, is that first of all, the grip, right? So we already know that this is opaque. We want it to be opaque so that we have that idea of something being half full, right? So it'll probably be the color, any color you want, but this part of it will be transparent, right? So but the grip, so because when you have stuff like, they can easily fall off your hand and fall off wherever you hang them. So I want to have this surface, the surface of this cup, be rough, right? So a rough surface, and this I've made the cover in this way so that you could hang it onto something, maybe onto a hook. I don't know, honestly, but that was my thought in designing this. Yeah, I guess so. That's basically it. So the idea is something that is compact, something that is reusable, something that is multi-purpose. So for now, before I start going into the identity design phase, I may or may not show you guys this part of it, but I'll keep recording my screen just in case. I want to go watch some tutorials, go figure out how I'm going to model this. I probably won't be getting any sleep tonight, but let's see how far we can take this. Hold on, is this well said? Hey guys, welcome back. So I have spent the last about 48 hours, I think, working on this model, right? It's not like I worked on it on a stretch, but I have not modeled in a long time, and I have not, even before then, I wasn't very proficient with modeling. I only like watched like maybe a couple of videos, got the hang of Blender a little bit, but because of this project I was challenged to really go deeper and see how well I can do this, and how much I can push it further. So I watched Derek's tutorial. Some of you may know him if you're into Blender at all, and I will link his tutorial below in case you want to enjoy the world of Blender. I was able to do this, but we've still not done any form of branding yet. So I still just have like a black and white monotone representation. What the idea I'm getting is that I'll probably have color options, right? So if you want to buy the bottle, you have options to pick your color, your favorite color, or whatever. But before I start changing the colors and setting up mock-up shots and all that thing, I want to first of all go online and look for inspiration again, and try and see if I can come up with a logo, come up with an identity system, come up with a color system and all that. So for this part of the process, I didn't need to do too much more of research. I just wanted to see some ideas of what people were doing real quick in this particular industry of creating bottles, creating reusable, recyclable water bottles. And what I've noticed is that people are going more into the minimalistic and futuristic sense, and it makes all the sense in the world, because all these new products are tech based in a way, because they are using recycled materials, they are using sustainable materials and all that stuff. So it makes sense that they are using futuristic, minimalistic design, because it's a now thing. It's not something that has a rich history in anything, if that makes sense. So I'm feeling like I'm going to lean more into that direction and just go with it, while still seeing how I can make some distinctions with our own brand, with our own half full brand. We're already telling a nice story, in my opinion, with the packaging already. So I want to see how we can further tell that story in design. So I'm going to start putting pen on paper right now and start to sketch some ideas. It's just what I like to do. I like getting my hands dirty. It kind of helps me think better. So I'm going to show you what I'm working on in a little bit. this is the idea I'm leaning towards. I'm loving this idea and I want to push it forward a bit. So basically the idea is something, there's the H and there's the negative space giving us the letter F. I don't think I've ever done a negative space logo before. I think I've done it once in my early days of design, but this is a nice way to jump on the trend of negative space logos. So half full, you can see the H, you can see the F in negative space, even though it's not very prominent, the F that is, but it's there. Also, the idea of something being half full is like, can we use half of the plastic we were using before? Can we use half of the resources, half of the space that we were using before to achieve the same results, the same satisfaction, in terms of packaging our water, packaging our drinks, getting coffee and all that stuff? So I feel like this logo leans into that idea, because we're using just one lockup, to represent the H and the F, and it's a nice thing by also minimizing the space. So another thing I'm thinking is, why don't I remove this F in front of the full or behind the half and join them together, so that, because nobody's actually going to significantly pause and say half full. Everybody's probably going to say half full at some point, by the time the brand catches on. Hopefully it does. Anyway, I'm just kidding, but nobody's going to say half full. People are probably going to say half full. So I'm like, why don't you just throw away that space and that extra character, because we're all trying to minimize stuff. We're basically trying to minimize stuff. So I'm also exploring this idea from here. It's born out of this one, obviously, to make the edges softer, to make it flow a bit more, because we are packaging liquid. So having something a little hard edge is like, it's not terrible, but it would be nice to be able to lean more into what we are packaging stuff for, right? Liquid have, flow, there's free form of flow. So I'm thinking, why don't you make the edges a little curvier, they should blend into each other quite easily. So I'm liking this idea. I'm really, really loving it. I just want to see if I can come up with something else. Usually, I normally come up to my first eureka moment, but let me see if anything can come up out of this. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to stop here. I don't have enough time. I'm past due to post this, and I'm not even halfway done yet. So I'm just going to go ahead with this, because even though this idea is kind of making sense in my head, somehow I'm not feeling it as much as I'm feeling this right now. So I really, really love how, if you remember from the packaging style here that we had, right? This bottle has some negative space down here, and that negative space is being filled by the coffee cup or mug, whatever you like to call it. So the idea just kind of makes sense to have a negative space kind of logo, to be honest. And I don't know, let's just roll with this. We have free creative freedom. First of all, I want to do something a little more out of my style. That is something I've seen a lot of people do, including Abby herself. Try to select fonts and see what fonts fit in carefully. So why I want to do this is because I want my logo mark, the icon that I'm designing, I want it to sort of flow with the typeface that I end up choosing. So I already know that I want to do something futuristic and minimal, so I'm probably going in the range of the sans serif, something low contrast, something very geometric, I really don't care about the weight or the width. So let's do a little house cleaning here. First off, I think this one should come. It's usually hard for me to pick fonts, but I'm just going to do them without thinking too much about it, right? So this is hard. So first of all, I'm leaning more towards fonts that have a flow characteristic, or their U feels like a cup, so that I can tie that well with the story. So if you don't have a flow characteristic, like handwritten flow characteristic, if you get what I'm saying, so this is not in that category, so you have to go. Sorry bro, this has to go as well. I really like this. The poppins now, it's the popular, it's the popping. Like send. Nah, you got to get it. So we're left with this four rather in that category. Generally, fonts that have this contrast to them. This is like a medium contrast font, but I'm not liking it because of that contrast. It's not feeling very modern enough. Like, the idea of modern sans serifs is that they stripped back all the handwritten elements, all the brush stroke elements of the type character. So this still has some kind of history to it, and I'm just not feeling. I'm going very modern, very futuristic here, so please step out of the way. Now we're left with this these three. I'm the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm feeling very weird about it. I'm liking the idea of, it feels, especially the A, for example, feels a little bit quirky, with some wiggly lines. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but hold on, let me see what capital H looks like. That's not bad either. So for this though, let me see, does it have a book? It does have a book. I'm really loving this. Actually, I think this is the one I may end up going in the direction of. It has the cup, check. It does not have flowing lines though, but I'm not so mad because the lines feel very curved, they are not sharp, they are very smooth, they are very soft. What's the common? I suck at describing these things, but you get what I mean. When you look at it, you don't feel like it was like really sharp, or you don't feel like it's really sharp or anything. So I might do some manipulation on it later, but let's hold that there. Let me see what the capital H looks like as well for this. It's basic, so no contest there. But I'm just going to go ahead and try and figure out my logo mark. colors. What colors do we want to use? I'm thinking, let me make some color palette. That is going to be a fail. But let me go online. Hold on. Let me go to colors.co. Let them pick out a color palette for us. Because I'm having some ideas of colors, but I'm not sure. I don't normally go with my guts when it comes to colors, because there are some courses I still want to take. There are some readings I still want to do before I start to deceive myself and say I know all about colors. If you notice, I don't share anything about color on my page. I mostly share about typography, because it's typography that I've gained a little bit of mastery on. So essentially, this tool helps you find color palettes with keywords. So I was trying to look for use some keywords. So I was trying to use some keywords to generate some color palettes, but it wasn't working out. So I decided to do some research again and see what colors people are using. Then I started creating one for myself. So I was able to come up with a set of colors that I feel like they may not essentially represent the brand, but they would look good on the product. It's just like all these brands that make phones, all these tech brands that make phones, like Apple, for example. They could make different versions, different colors of their phones, of their product, but it doesn't necessarily make it part of their brand colors, if that makes sense. So I just knew that my primary brand colors were going to be black, the slightly grayish white, and maybe the brown, but I wasn't really leaning on the brown, since what we want is versatility in every sense. So yeah, I finished up with the design and used these colors to model the bottle, and here are some of the final products. So you've come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was helpful in any way. I'm sorry the video feels a little bit scattered, and that's because the process was different from what I normally work with. So I wasn't able to foresee what would happen during the process. So I just kind of rode along. Sometimes I forgot I was supposed to be filming, so it's a little all over the place. So please bear with me. Stay tuned for the next video and create lit shit. Okay, see you. Bye bye. I need sleep.